Hey guys, what's going on? Icy here. So what we're gonna do? See this mop on my head? This is getting a little out of control. Car's been down. Haven't really been able to get out. Got COVID going on. A lot of people still don't want to go out. So I am going to cut my own hair. Seems like a easy enough task. However, it can be a little bit nerve-wracking if you enjoy your hair. I do like my hair. I just need it a little bit shorter. It's just too long. So one of the first things you need to know about cutting your hair, guys, if you're gonna do your own hair, be ready to mess up. If you're ready to mess up, you know that you can mess up. I can shave my head and I can be alright with that. I usually do a very short length on the top. It's going to be about a finger's length, so you can see I'm about 3 lengths high. And then I do skin on the sides, and then I fade it into the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a military fade, same as when I was in the military. So if you guys are in the military, this is pretty easy too. The hardest part is always the back because you can't see it. So when we get to the back, I'll probably advance over to the bathroom so that we can use the mirror and kind of try to get it. Sometimes you might need a friend or somebody just come over and just give you a quick tap on that back, and then it'll be alright. Last time I did this, that's what happened. I've only done this once, so we're just gonna see what happens. Hopefully it works alright, and hopefully I get a good haircut out of this. I'm just bored as hell and figure why not cut my hair. The kit I'm using, I use the Waller right here, and this kit has quite a bit in it. I'm going to be using an 8 on the top, and I go skin on the sides like I said. Sorry, the phone's kind of funky right now because it's in my hand. So I use this kit right here. It's got quite a bit. Let's go outside. I'll show you what we're going to do. We're going to hope for the best on this, guys. Alright, stay tuned. Alright, so we're outside. I want to show you my kit. I use a Wahl, WAHL. This is what I've been using since I was a kid. I've always liked them. They're very good. They've made well. This one right here, you can see, got number 1 on it. Comes off very easily. It's very easy to use. You can take these pieces off and very easily clean the inside of it. It also has up here a trimmer, so you can put it on and you get a trim right there. Sorry, it's a little bit bright out. So that right there, I do like these. You don't have to use this specifically. This is what I'm going to be using for this haircut. Now I've got a number 1 right here. I'm actually probably going to do it on skin right here, and I can adjust it by halves by just pushing this button right here on the side, so you can see the blade. It just moves just a little bit. It's not much, but that half will help you, especially if you're doing your sides and you want fade in, which is what I'm going to go for. So as I try to fade in, I'll probably go into halves. The other bits I'm going to use, these are all of them right here. You have a 7, and I'm not sure of the lengths on these, 22 millimeters. So you can see a 7, if it goes through my hair, it's going to cut it a lot. And I'm actually going to use an 8, so my personal preference, I just got to find it, is going to be that 8. It might be out already. That's what we use. My father likes that 8 as well. You've got a cleaning brush, so after you're done, you just use this, wipe it down. You've got some oil, make sure you oil your product. This actually came with a pair of scissors. I'm not very good with the scissors, so we're not going to touch those. Comes with directions, comes with a warranty. This is a number 8 right here. And the number 8 is 25 millimeters, so it's going to be 3 millimeters longer than that 7, but you can see it's still going to cut a lot of that off. And that's what I need to do. So I'm going to be using an 8 on the top, which is pretty much finger length. You're going to see that this is actually finger length. It's about the same amount as if I was doing finger length. So it's a little bit shorter probably. About an inch, I guess it is. 25 millimeters, so I guess 1 inch. I was dead on. Go figure. So you got that. And then like I said, we're going to do the sides. Now, there's different ways to do this, guys. You could decide to take your 8, you can go over your top first, and then fade into the sides. And actually, that's probably what I'm going to do. A lot of people start from the sides and work their way up, and then do the hair. But since I'm doing this by myself and I have no visual, I want to get the top done first. That way I can fade into it. Now remember, if I mess up, it's just all going to get shaved. It's that simple for me. If it's not that simple for you, don't do this. All right, so let me get set up and we'll start up. All right guys, I'm plugged in. You can hear it. Just barely. It vibrates very nice. And you can see the tips of it just moving a little bit, or quite a fast amount. When I turn it off, you'll see it stop moving so fast. Maybe. Slippery. There you go. So you see how the blades aren't moving now? Now they are. They're just going to vibrate back and forth. So you do, this is my 8. It goes on where the clip is right here and it slides in. So you just slide it in like that and then clip. That's it. And you'll see it's on. And you can also adjust it right here like I showed you before. You can adjust it that half length. I'm not going to do this for my top part. We're just going to go ahead and shave the top part now. So it's on. And you just want to go through and you want to make sure that you get your whole head. So nice and slow, there's nothing fast about this. So you just get your whole head. And what's terrible is my sides are actually as long as the top of my head. So you're just going to keep doing this, and what you're going to do is you're going to make sure you cover the whole thing. Get all that hair out, guys. Fun times right here. A lot of the times when I'm doing this, I just like to face down. It's a little bit more natural feeling. I get a lot more like this. Being a mechanic, I can feel where I am on this. And just try to overlap while you do this too. If you're doing this by yourself, remember, you got nobody else's eyes. It's all your own eye. It's all your own feel. But hey, if you don't have to spend $20 on a haircut every single time, that's 20 bucks saved. And you can see that right there is going to be a fun issue. But you can see, good and short, and even if I left it like this, it'd probably be alright. But me personally, I like my sides to be a little bit shorter. So, and I'm actually using the, I'm going to use the camera right now to see how that hair looks. Except for that piece, that's not there. So, and I got my music playing. Hey, if you want to watch TV or if you're doing this inside, I'm outside right now. I don't really want to make a mess on the inside, but if you're inside, watch that TV. It's a little humid outside today, so you can see my hair is going a little crazy. And I'm sweating a little bit, which that's not helping, but this is a good razor. That's the nice part about having a good razor. And you can see right here, I'm getting a little bit funky, so I might want to hit that with a pair of scissors later on. And that's just going to be a very simple trim it. Or I might want to hit it after I've calmed down, cooled down a little bit on the inside. Like I said, I will want to do the back part of my head on the inside. It's a little warm out here still. So let's see what that looks like. Alright guys, so you can see what it's coming out to. It's not terrible. It's not great, but it's not terrible. So now we're going to get rid of this. What I'm going to do, I know I like to fade it, so what I'll do is I'm going to take a number 3. I'm going to go up a couple from where I would, because I'm going to like doing this. So I'm going to do a 3 to get up in this area and go all the way around my entire back. So, just need me a number 3. And what this will do is just get me started to fade. Now I'm going from an 8. Now I've got this, and what I'm going to do is I am going to extend it. So I'm going to give it that half. So it's really a 3.5. And we're going to just go right. And you can go from the bottom all the way up. I'm just going to be doing, I just know I'm going to be doing, now the other thing I do, I like to use my hand. So put your hand there. Kind of feel out where you are. And guys, this is where it gets tricky, obviously. Now if you go straight up, you'll never hit the top of your hair. So if you see the way I'm doing it, I'm going up like this on my backside. And because I'm going up like that, I'm not hitting. You might want to put a towel on too, unlike me. So I've got my hand here and I'm going straight up. So it's never going to hit the actual top. So this is still salvageable, even if I didn't do it right. So that's what I was doing on my back right there. So this will be salvageable, even if I messed it up. So if somebody's good, they'll be able to fix it still. And again, head down, get it all the way up. And what I'm doing here is I'm actually holding my hair back so that I can go ahead and get that in like that. This is fun. Guys, if you have to use your left hand, use your left hand. If you can. If you can't, just rearrange your right hand. Alright. So, that looks pretty good, right? Well, let's go down. So we're going to go down to a 2 now. And what we're doing is we're just, like I said, we're doing a fade. So we just want to do this progressively. As we do this progressively, it makes it a lot better, I think. If you don't think so, you just want to go for it, go for it. So here's a number 2. On number 2, I'm going to try and kind of level out in this area. I am going to shorten it now because I'm getting down to the bottom of my hair. And what I'm going to do is just very easily, again, nice and easy, just kind of all the same area. The good thing about a fade is it all is going to fade in one area. Move that ear. Alright, and now obviously I'm going to be getting to that back part, that's the hard part. So let's do my other side. Now once I have a line going, it'll be a lot easier to follow too. Did I not get this very well? Or is it just hot? A little bit of both. Oh, hair down my face. That's always fun, isn't it? And guys, just because it looks a little bit different on that side, from what I'm seeing, I'm just going to go right back to my 3 for a second. I'm just going to double check this area. And again, see, I'm using my right hand and I've got my arms crossed. So that way I can hold my hair and I can get up to that line. And I think that's what it was. I just didn't go up high enough. There we go. Now the back part, like I said, I'm probably going to spend more time in the bathroom on the back part than doing it out here. I'm not really going to try and reach around and guess with that. But right now, let's get all this done. Oy. Alright, kids, don't do this if your mom and dad didn't say you could. This is hard. You know, probably pay for your haircut. Like I said, my car's down at the shop. Been at the shop 2 weeks. Has a bad control module, and they don't make control modules for the car anymore. So they had to have it. What is it called? They remanufactured my part for me. Fun times, huh? Alright. So you can see now, it looks nice and even. And obviously I got hair on my top still. So that's a plus. I can still spike it. You can see a couple spots, like right there is a spot. And that's just kind of going to be what I work with. Now that is the top of my head. So I want to try and fade it as much as I can. And like I said, I think I'm probably heading inside. I got to cool off a little bit before I go too far with this. Now what I'm going to do with the number 2, I am using my hand. And you can see, hopefully, let me double check. Yeah. What you can see is right here. Just use my hand and go up to my finger. Go up to my finger. Now again, it's not exact science because it's the back of your head. Now I'm going to use that number 1. And like I said, I just did this outside because you can see right here I've shedded quite a bit and I just didn't want to get it all over the floor. Easier for me to clean it up out here than it is inside. Alright, so you got your number 1. Now, this I am going to slide up again, and as I do it, I'm just going to go. Now, like I said, this is the part I can mess up real easy on. And what I'll do here is I'll go back down. Instead of a number 2 like I had been using, I will use a number, or instead of a number 3, I'll go down, or number 2, I'll go down to a number 1, and that's how I'll fade that area. And this is where you got to be very careful. Alright, so this is the part I'm going to need a full-on mirror now. So this is the part we're going to head back inside. We're going to fix this up a little bit and then cool down a little bit. So I'll be back on in a couple. Alright guys, so a little bit of an assessment. I'm in the bathroom, obviously. You can see the doors. What I had to do, I did have to wash my hair again because while I was doing that, I got very greasy from the outside, and I just wanted to do the most part outside. This is exactly where it was when we left off. You can see I've got a little bit of portion up here. And you can see they're definitely uneven just by using your fingers. If you have any markers on your head, I got a little bit of a forehead line. I get older, that happens. Use your eyes and just decide where would be a good area, and that's where you're going to want to start to fade. Now you can also see that I've got kind of like a mullet going on the back here. Got to get rid of these beast hairs and whatnot. So that's all part of the process. It's just I work my way up, down when I'm doing it by myself because it's a little bit easier to see it from myself. Now if you have somebody else doing this for you, if you're doing this for a friend, you might just want to start bottom up. You don't have to start top down. This can be worked on by anybody, anywhere. So, you know, if your mom's doing it and she wants to watch this and say, hey, okay, I can do this. You know, it's a good point. But again, even if your mom's doing it, even if your friend's doing it, whoever might be doing it, just remember, people mess up. They're not paid to do this. I'm not paid to do this. I just do it every once in a while. This is only my 2nd time. And like I said, boredom kind of kicked in and I hated my hair being, you saw it, like a rag. So, I'm back in the bathroom, back on our skin side. Still got it long right here, so you can see. Sun's no longer in my face. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the mirror, obviously, because trying to do it through the phone is going to be a little bit hard. And I've got that set up so that you guys can see me. Now when I get back here, these are all the issues that I was talking about. And this is where you're just going to have to be nice and methodical. Know where you are, know what you're doing. When I work on a vehicle, I use my hands a lot. So you can see it no longer looks shaggy like it did. Now I'm not going to go all the way back just yet. I'm going to go to the front side here, and I'm going to line up here with here. Now it's not fade yet, so don't get overwhelmed about that. And if somebody's cutting your hair and you see this, don't get overwhelmed right away because we have to fade it in. And the fading in is going to come in with that number 2. Or number 1 actually. Probably a number 2 also. But I like my fades pretty high. Don't forget, you can fade, somebody can fade it down here. They can fade it pretty much no fade. Or you can fade it all the way up in here. I've seen plenty of different fades, especially being in the military. A lot of different guys have it a lot of different ways. Marines, they like the forward cut. I was in the Air Force, so I just had a fade, very simple. Some of us just shaved our heads. I was not one of them. I enjoyed having hair. It was nice to look like a civilian every once in a while when I took off my BDUs. So this is my cut that I've had for a very long while now. Wow. I would have been in the military 20 years now, guys. I would have been retired last month. Alright. So, we are on the scary part. We're on the back part. And I can feel all the hair there. So, I'm going to do this slowly. Again, we're going to go, and I know the line's right about here. I'd rather it be a little bit lower, because if somebody has to fix it for me, they can fix it if it's lower. If I go too high, then the whole fade's going to have to go higher. So just be cognitive. Hey, my neighbor can do this. I just don't like to bother him for it. So I was just like, I'll do it myself. I'll try. If I can't do it, I'll throw him a couple bucks. It's not that big of a deal. Or I'll just shave my whole head. Again, don't care. So slowly, make sure you get your lines. So you can see, I'm just very easy. Let the razor do its job. Let the tool do the work. Very slow, up to my finger. Very slow, up to my finger. And that's going to get rid of all that beastiness. Now after this, you'll be able to feel any hair that's there too. You should be able to. Hopefully you have some feeling in your fingers. If not, again, this isn't really a job for you. Alright. Now I know I just felt that back part. I kind of messed up. What I want to do is I'm going to go into that back again right here. And you can see it sticking up. We're going to go back in there with a number 3. And this is where it starts to get a little bit more technical, because what we're doing now is we're starting to fade. You can see it looks alright. It's not terrible. Yeah, I'm not upset with that. What the heck? It's on my lip. Seriously? That's funny. Oh, that's gonna drive me insane. Hold on a sec. I don't like the way that looked. For some reason, a patch of hair was just stuck there. Alright, so I got my number 3 again. Now remember, the 3 is the one we did here. We did not do it on here. This was a number 8. This is only 3/8 of an inch, 10 millimeters. Alright? I did it as long. I'm going to shorten it down now. Now what I'm going to do, even though I'm trying to get to the back, I'm going to start to fade right here. You can hear it. It's getting a little bit of hair, and that's what I want it to do. I want to get these hairs right there. I'm trying to even it out now. So it's very slow, methodical again. And now you can see, I got my hand here. It can only go so high. Now I don't know what my back looks like yet, guys, so don't laugh. Alright. You can see here, we're going to go ahead and... Now, like I said, you can go higher with this fade if you want, or you can go lower. Does not have to be the way I'm doing it. Alright, here we go. I'm going to turn around again this way. And we're going to get right here. There we go. Now also remember, the back isn't exactly where everybody's going to see you the most. And you have the calyx back here. You've got your turn right here. So as you're looking, you can see I've got this turn. So the nice thing about that turn is that's where all your hair's going to turn. Most people have that on their back. That's where you get a lot of bald spots starting. So the good thing about that is it helps with my haircut while I'm doing it by myself. I go a little bit higher in the back than I do on the sides. Alright, so now let's get this faded, yeah? We're going to go down to a number 2. Not a number 1 yet. Here's a number 2. 1/4 of an inch. Or 6 millimeters. Says it right on the thing. Alright, so now what you're going to do, you're just going to very lightly, right on the edge. You don't want to go too high. That's where your number 3 was. You don't have to really, you don't have to go crazy with this. And I gotta look at that piece right there. See that piece right there? I'm gonna cut that myself. I don't like that. If you guys are okay with a strand of hair hanging out like that, and that's something you want, cool. Me, I don't like it. So we're just going to get rid of it. I got plenty more hair. And the same thing with back here, and that's what I'm going to do. Now I can use the snippers for this too. These are all long spots, I can tell. Now I normally brush my hair down like this, or I spike it, so this isn't something you would notice anyway, but I notice it. So what I'm doing, I'm pulling right here, and I don't have any long hairs like that. I'm pulling on my back, I don't have any long hairs like that. And now you can see I got rid of those long hairs right there. Now I do have more long hair up here, but I'm not trying to fade up there. So let's just keep it nice and in like this. Got it. So now I got that with my 3. Go back down to that 2, and let's start to fade again. And this is what it is. It's just a little bit step, little step, little step. And what you want to do is you just kind of want to go up and down like this, guys. And what that does is that's going to fade this area right here into a 2. But not all the way up. Just remember. And where that bottom piece is that's where the buzzer is. So just because the pokes are in it does not mean that it is it's cutting. You have to go all the way up with that. You can see it's still not fading completely. That's okay. Oh, long hair right there. And again, this is the back, so it's a little bit harder. So now when I go in here, I'm not going to go as fast. So use my finger as a stopping point because I don't want to clean up my entire head. Again, if I messed up here, up to this point, somebody else could fix it. If I go further, you're probably going to be bald. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move and when I'm done, I'll clean up my whole neck again too. Hope you guys are enjoying that. Hopefully I did alright. Right here, I can see it in the mirror. And what I'm doing is I'm just feeling where the razor is in comparison to where it was. Now you can see that it's starting to fade. I still have that little bit of a bump. But that'll go away. Should go away on the next one. If not, it'll go away on the one after that. Alright. Looking good. So now we're going to put away the 2. Well, keep it on the side. If you've seen me, I've already had to go back to a 3. So here's number 1. Going to lengthen it again. So do 1.5. Go right where that bump is. You see this bump right here? You can still see that line. So you're going to want to go right there. You want to rub it. Hit it just a little bit. And you can see that it's starting to fade now. Looks nice, doesn't it? Guys, I hope this is helping you out. I hope you're doing this nice and slow. And again, we're going to go over to this side. If this is saving you some money, hey, hit that like and subscribe button for me, you know? Help me out. Hopefully I helped you out. If not, send me a message. I like messages. Alright guys, so now this is, you're going to put your hand a little bit lower this time, alright? So do a little bit lower, so this time you're not going all the way up here because that's where my 3 was. So remember, my line's right about here, and this is all by feel. And remember, that bottom part is where it's going to cut, so it's not going to go very high. You use your finger as a stopper. Now if you're comfortable with it and you want to go a little bit further, or you just want to estimate without your finger, hey, by all means, you can see I'm doing it too. And I've got a little bit of a bump here, so I'm going to go back to my 3 and re-heal that out. I got a little bit of long hair right there that you can catch. It's not a big deal. I'd rather have a couple pieces of hair that are too long that I can still cut off than too short that I can't do anything with. It's always better to do it a little bit slower. Hit those spots. So now you can see no lines. A little bit of a line, but I'm going to go down a little bit more anyway. I'm going to take that 1 again. first I want to get back in here. Now I can go like a number 4, 5, 6. My preference is just a 3. And I'm not trying to get the hair up top, so I'm just making sure that I get the side hair. So I'm moving my hair, combing my hair, however you have to do it. Now I am going to use my left hand again. If you can't do this with your left, don't do it with your left, guys. Just keep your right, just cross it over the way I showed you before. And you can see that's a little bit of a more obscure fade. This side, the fade's coming out a lot nicer. It's a little bit rough on this side. It's not terrible, actually, looking at it. I'm just being a little bit judgmental on it. And I just lowered it to a 3. From that 3.5, I lowered it to a 3. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do the same thing I did with that 2. And I'm going to hit it again. And this is why it takes a little bit of time. If you're doing it by yourself, have a little bit of patience. You can always fast forward through this part. You don't have to watch me constantly. But this is it. I mean, this is the haircut. I can feel it's getting a lot better. This is essentially what you're going to be doing. And the rest of it is pretty self-explanatory. You're just going to keep switching pieces. You're going to keep going down to the point where you don't see this line right here. Now, obviously, I'm only doing a very small amount with that number 1 to cover it. See? Now it's faded. Let's get this side. And now that's faded as well. Now you can see that they're fading. You don't see the line the same way you did. The way the light's shining, it looks like there's a good line. No. See? You can now see how it looks. And that's the that's gonna be the after. Now, like I said, the back just nice and easy. Nice and easy. And now the very last part is gonna be that no guard for me. You don't have to use a no guard. Other thing about it, you might want to get areas like here. You always have the beast hairs that come down here. They call them beast hairs, I guess. I don't know. Somebody called it beast hair. I liked it. So what I'll do, come in here, come around your ear the same way they normally would. Go ahead and straighten all that out. Now here's the issue. A lot of times they'll square it off. So if you're going to square it off, take a shot at it. Again, what I might do is I'm just going to take the razor and go straight across like that and hope that it squared me off. In fact, we're going to use the phone as a